Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. CIG are not slowing down. With 4.2 released, 4.2.1 has already hit the PTU. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys, so thank you so much for the support. It is truly appreciated. So Star Citizen 4.2 dropped to live yesterday, bringing with it a lot of very nice new additions, but many more quality of life updates, bug fixes, tweaks, and balance changes. Also yesterday, Cloud Imperium released a new patch to the Evocati on the PTU, being 4.2.1. Now, this brought with it a few new additions, which I will speak about in a minute, but also a brand new resource gathering event, which I think a lot of people have kind of been hoping for. Now, as we have seen with previous patch releases, oftentimes CIG will bring out a 0.1 patch to target any bug fixes that cannot be hotfixed. Hotfixes can roll out to fix various little issues, but many times a more thorough fix is required, and that is often why a 0.1 patch will release shortly after the live patch has dropped. So that is likely why this patch is rolling out, to bring in a lot more bug fixes that they just cannot hotfix. But let us talk about this new resource gathering event, which I believe is called Second Life, and continues on this whole storyline with the regen crisis. Now, it says, this is the description, a shocking discovery reveals that imprint technology is failing. An upsetting number of the population are not actually regenerating, meaning that death might not have been conquered after all. To calm the public, Imperator Addison relaxes restrictions on scientific exploration in a desperate effort to find a solution, leading to some dubious research initiatives cropping up in the universe. Looking at you, Dr. Jorrit. All four corporations of the Stanton system are fighting for resources to help win a research contract, and whichever corporation has the highest amount of contributed standard cargo units by the end of the event will be the winner of the contract. And these resources can be gathered by any means necessary. Also though, if you do have a crime stat 3 or above, you won't be able to take part. Crime stat 1 and 2, you can still take part in this, but anything of 3 and above you will not be able to. Now it goes on to say that players are tasked with different missions to achieve this, the first one being resource gathering, so asking players to source and gather X amount of whatever resource they need. The next one is recovering cargo from vessels that have broken down or been attacked, or retrieving a stolen stash, so finding already hand-placed ships full of this SEU of whatever they need, and you can go and gather that up or steal it for your chosen corporation. The next mission type is support attacked ship, requiring players to defend a cargo ship from waves of pirates trying to destroy and rob them. Or the final mission type being simply hauling, so retrieving resources that have been processed and are ready to be delivered. So this is sounding like a very interesting progression in the storyline, and one that many have been asking for. Basically, it's an event or activity that is not solely combat orientated or PvP. Now that's not to say that you couldn't just focus on the combat missions, you very much can do, but this will provide haulers and, I suppose, miners, potentially salvagers, it depends on what the resources are that they need, to actually take part and just gather and deliver. So the resource gathering missions will likely require players in, I suppose, a mining ship to find various specific minables and go mine them off your own back, locating them, mining the required amount, and then likely refining them. Whether you need to refine them first or you can drop them off raw is yet to be seen, but I do expect they will need to be refined. Also in 4.2, they have already reduced the timers for refining quite drastically, so this will probably be tying into where they're going with this. Now I would be very interested to know if they can connect the two mission types in some way, so having players selling either unrefined or refined ores to the refinery, and then having haulers come along and pick up those refined goods and deliver them to wherever they're supposed to go. That would be kind of interesting, but it might be a little bit more linear than that. So as you can see, there are two mission types for PvE combat, and then two for industrial players. Not to say that PvP can't be a part of this. It does say that you can gather these resources by any means necessary, so if I assume it might be a criminal organization that want to take part in some fashion, players could attack haulers, they could attack miners, steal the cargo and then drop it off for their own corporation. So I would certainly recommend having escorts, but it's most likely not going to be necessary most of the time. Now, it would be cool as well if the resource gathering missions don't just require minerals from miners, but also potentially RMC and CMC. So getting salvagers, roping them into the mix as well. I don't know what the resources are that are required. They could just be minables. They could be minables via hand, ground vehicle, or ship. They could also be salvageable resources. Hopefully it's all and everything, as that would really open up the potential for a lot of players to get involved. But it could just be certain minables that are acquired via a ship. We will see. But regardless, these are the types of events that many have been asking for. Industrial focused, not just combat. Now with this build, there were also 15 more bug fixes, and as per the latest roadmap update, we can see that 4.2.1 has the addition of this new event. There is also a couple of other cards that are likely going to be for 4.2.1. The first one, which is the Space Combat Mission Support Ship, which I assume is referring to this new event. There are also 2 new cards that have been set to tentative, neither of which are actually slated for 4.2.1, like the one just mentioned now, but certainly I suspect they will release for 4.2.1. The first of these 2 is something titled New Global Cross Shard Event that builds on collaboration and competition, so perfectly describing this Second Life event that we just read through. The next is the Volt Laser Pistol, which is called the Pulse. This says it is a high-capacity, fully automatic sidearm that ramps up its rate of fire as it heats up. Love the sound of this one, and I think there may be a Volt sniper rifle remaining. We have the assault rifle, we have the SMG, and we have the shotgun. This will bring the sidearm, the pistol. I know we have seen concepts for a sniper rifle, so I would imagine that is the last of the Volt ones to come along, but that's not to say there won't be more in the future. For the roadmap, though, there was one more new addition that does state that it's for 4.3 when that column appears on the roadmap, and is a new medium utility armor, so nothing to do with 4.2, nothing to do with 4.2.1, but I'm hoping that with all of these new armors and new outfits as such already come along, and this new one coming in 4.3, my fingers are firmly crossed to see the Starwear technology properly roll out, and all armors and clothing getting their proper attributes and stats. But there you go, 4.2.1 already in testing, 4.2 just went live, CIG's feet are firmly on the throttle, and I can't imagine 4.2.1 will remain in the PTU for too long. It is likely going to be, as I say, used to fix a lot of the 4.2 issues that just can't be hotfixed. I am sure we will see many more quality of life updates, balance changes, gameplay changes and tweaks come along for 4.2.1, as these kinds of changes just get thrown into the PU when they are ready. So who knows what could come along. But for me, I am loving the pace at which this content is getting pushed out. It is coming thick and fast. I can't even keep up. I will be heading off now and getting on with finishing off this flight model update video covering what we heard on Star Citizen Live, as there is a lot of cool information in that about the upcoming flight changes, plus hoping to find some time to work on more off-grid gameplay, as I am very excited to check that out in 4.2. But with that said, don't forget you can get 15% off a GameGlass lifetime pass or 10% off an annual or monthly pass. So if you would like to use your phone or tablet as your ship's dashboard, I can highly recommend it, and using the link below will take you to that deal, but it will also provide my channel with a direct kickback, so helping to support videos like these. Thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so, and to those who have done so already. If you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, I will be live later today. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 2 and 6 p.m. BST. You are all more than welcome. And if you want to come and join in on our trade posts, or just hang out in chat and talk about all things Star Citizen, it is great if you are a veteran, great if you're a new player wanting advice. As I say, you're all more than welcome. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a big thank you to my patrons and channel members. Your extra support is much appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.